Welcome to Miracle Network's Wednesday meditation. I'm so glad you're all here to share this time together. If you're on YouTube, don't forget to click the subscribe button below to receive updates and notifications. Today we're joined by Lia Steinson, who will lead us in meditation. Then we have 20 minutes of silence. After that, we open it up for sharing, and we end at 10:45. Over to you, Lia.
Thank you, Dan. Good morning, everybody. Lovely to be with you again. It comes round so fast. I seem to come on about every 3 or 4 months, but it comes round quickly, which is rather lovely because there's a sense of continuity. I'm just going to say a quick hello to Frida and Barbara and Lottie and Victoria. Today I would like to talk a little bit about the voice for God, about the Holy Spirit, and as well as that, how we can deepen our capacity to listen. But before I talk anything about it, I'm going to read this beautiful piece called I Am Love, because I think we need to, begin everything remembering who we really are. It's so easy to forget for a bit, isn't it? And actually think we might be a body. And this piece has got lots of different quotes from different places, including the Course, that all remind us of who we really are. So I'd like you to close your eyes so you can listen better, I think, when you close down some of your senses. Take a couple of deep breaths and be really present. I am love. I am love. Love is all I have ever been. I'm only love, manifesting all that love is. Love constitutes my real identity. Love is also the identity of all of those I meet, whatever the material appearances. Love constitutes the ground of my being, the only law governing my existence. It is the only meaning of my life, freed from all ego. May love be the substance and the point of departure of all my thoughts, my only possible response to any aggression, encounter, fear, event, situation, challenge, or joy. May love be the only presence I express, for it is the ultimate reality of my love being, which it fills entirely, constituting my one and only power. Love is the space of my existence, the very life of my life, its true essence, my only presence. Love, which created me, is what I am. Just rest a moment in those words, don't rush to come back. Love, which created me, is what I am. Just feel it really deeply in your heart. And gently returning, just open your eyes when you feel ready. And when you do, just take a moment then to look around. I think of this still as a room. Look around the room and see all these other beautiful places, faces, and the love that they are, the love that unites us, the love that makes us one. Lovely. So it was just really interesting for me this morning how I began with this, is felt guided to talk about the voice for God today and to create deeper silence in our minds so that we can listen. And I went to my book, and you'll find this so kind of thing so many times. And I didn't think about where I was going in the book. I just opened it up, and there was page 75, the voice for God. I thought happens so many times to us, doesn't it? That where we are in ourselves, what we're asking for, we are given it. And I think this is part of the voice for God. I don't think the voice for God or the Holy Spirit doesn't speak to us saying, Leah, do this or do that or think this or speak that. It's not like that, is it? I mean, does anybody ever really hear this great voice going on in their heads? And we tend to think of the voice for God that it is a voice, but I don't think it usually is. It's much bigger than being a voice. It's the feelings within us that move us gently towards something, that make us experience a sense of pure desire for something, not ego desire, but pure desire. It's the sensations that we have in our bodies. It's the things that we suddenly think about that suddenly arrive in our heads. It's walking in nature and being shown something by the way the breeze moves the leaves on the trees. It's feeling the ground within our feet, the way the water, the sea moves in the ocean. All of these things have such wonderful messages for us. And I think we need to broaden right out in understanding that our whole being as a means of communication is a means of listening. So anything that we feel in our bodies that isn't, well, even sometimes physical things like having tummy ache could well be something going on that's of value. But we are able to listen to the voice for God in so many different ways. For one of the most important ways that we can prepare ourselves to be able to listen better is to cultivate silence. Now, silence, we sometimes can think, oh, if we're doing meditation, well, it's silent. It might just be the birds or the neighbors or something. But we think that we're experiencing silence. Well, what's actually going on in your head? True silence is silence within the mind as well. So I think it's very important for us to be able to practice being silent, not just silent in meditation like we're going to do now, but silence weaving in and out of our lives, taking moments whenever we can, in between activities, in between things we have to do, pausing, not just having a continuity of things happening, but pausing, taking a few deep breaths, acknowledging I love to be able to just give myself time to say, I am breathing in, I am breathing out. Just that mindful moment creates space and silence. And when we create silence in our minds, that's where we are preparing. That's how we're preparing to hear the voice for God. How can you ever hear the Holy Spirit if your mind never stops chattering? And for people, until they really start to do this work, that's exactly how it is. The ego wants to dominate the mind, have it under its control, and one of the ways it does it is to make us to think non-stop. And I'm sure you've noticed when you're thinking non-stop, you link from one thought to the next, and you start somewhere and arrive somewhere else, because the ego is very clever. We start thinking about what we're having for dinner, and then we're thinking about shopping, and then we're thinking about what we did with the new shopping bag somebody gave us. Then we're in Tesco's. Do you know me that's what the ego does to everybody. The mind just bops about, links to things, and in the East they call it the monkey mind, just bopping about to different trees. So that in that mind, how can the voice of God get a look in? You're really saying, I'm not in receiving mode. I'm in thinking about all kinds of stuff mode. So it's really important for us, I think, to begin to say, I can cultivate silent moments at any time I want to, before everything, after everything, and even during everything. Take a moment, take a breath. Actually, let's try that now. Just close your eyes a minute. And when you next breathe in slowly and say, I am breathing in. And as you breathe out, say, I am breathing out. Just do it one more time. I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Just in those moments, you touch the infinite, you touch eternity. You are present. We are not in the past, we're not in the future. The ego takes us constantly to past and future, where there is no joy. The joy is in the moment. So I'll just read a little bit from the voice of God as it opened up so wonderfully to me this morning. And we'll return to the breath work when we're going to meditation. The Holy Spirit is the spirit of joy. Isn't it gorgeous? So when the ego was made, God placed in the mind a call to joy. This call is so strong that the ego always dissolves at its sound. That is why you must choose to hear one of two voices within you. One you made yourself, and that one is not of God, but the other is given you by God, who asks you only to listen to it. The Holy Spirit is in you in a very literal sense. Here's the voice that calls you back to where you were before and will be again. It is possible, even in this world, to hear only that voice and no other. It takes effort and great willingness. And I think that last bit is very important for us. Many people will say things like, I'm just handing it over to the Holy Spirit. And it sounds very sort of easy. Oh, you do it. And I think that this is teaching us here. It's not about just saying, oh, I'm just handing it over. We need to do a little bit more than that. We need to cultivate the silence. We need to pray. We need to be in the present moment and really talk to the Holy Spirit about what it is we need help and advice on. So you might reflect on that a moment now, because we'll bring that into the meditation. Just think about, what do I really need to be guided on? It might be a choice you're making. It might be just you don't know what to do about something. Anything that you need to decide upon is a suitable subject for this moment now. So just keep that reflecting in you. What am I deciding on? What do I need guidance on? And we're going to work with going into a really deep silence so that we can hear. And again, hear with any means that the Holy Spirit communicates to us. You might not hear the answer during the meditation. That's okay. You have prepared the ground. And then remember to come back to silence. During every day, take moments of silence and you prepare yourself, because it's in those silent moments that you realize what you're being told. Okay, I'm just going to read one more thing and then we'll go into the meditation. The voice of the Holy Spirit does not command, because it is incapable of arrogance. But the voice for God is always quiet, because it speaks of peace. Peace is stronger than war because it heals. The Holy Spirit is your guide in choosing. He is in the part of your mind that always speaks for the right choice, because he speaks for God. So if you'd like to close your eyes, I think many of you already have your eyes closed. That's lovely. We're going to do a few minutes of really working on entering into silence in your mind without the ego interfering. And if it does, you just take a deep breath and you breathe it away. So be aware of your body. Be aware of how you're sitting. Feel your feet on the ground. Be aware of the shape of your body, the bend at your ankles and knees and your hips. Not because you want to be body conscious, but because this is the best way to bring us into the present moment, to be in our senses, be in our awareness of what's happening in this moment now. No past, no future, just entirely present. Feel your breath moving your body gently in and out. Rise up into your spine a little. Let your shoulders go back and down. Feel your chest just expanding and opening a little. Rest your hands lightly in your lap. All the while being aware of your breathing, flowing in and out. You don't have to do anything with it, it just does itself. Feel your head resting in a very balanced way on your neck. If you were able to see your gaze, the line of your gaze, you'd keep it parallel with the ground. Soften into your face. Eyes just lightly closed. Soft down through your cheeks and into your jaw. Feeling the peace of God. Filling your being. You might have a visual impression of that light of God going down through your crown, filling your head, down through your throat into your chest and heart center, down through your belly, all the way through your legs and into your feet, and also into your arms and down into your hands. So you feel yourself as a being of light, which we truly are. And in that light there is peace, joy, and love. And just for a few breaths, let's say as we breathe in, I am breathing in, I am breathing out. Really put your full concentration into the breath. There's nothing else happening except your breathing and the light that fills you as you breathe. I am breathing in, I am breathing out. And feel with each out breath, did you let go of any ego thoughts in your mind? Or try to get you to think. You don't need to think. I am breathing in, I am breathing out. With each breath you go deeper, deeper into the blessed silence of God. Light and silent. Breath. Nothing else. Light. Silent. Breath. While you have a part of your attention still on your breathing and being present, just spend a minute or two talking to the Holy Spirit. Maybe something you've already been talking to him about, or something new has come to you. I invite you to talk in a very friendly, easy way. It doesn't have to be in heavy prayer mode. It's Holy Spirit. Something I need your help with. Please will you be here with me and show me what to do. I don't know what anything's for. I don't know what to do about anything. I don't know how to think. I need you constantly in my mind. Where you are, I need to be aware of you there. Please help me expand the silence of my being so I can hear you. Now in your mind, just say a little bit more to the Holy Spirit about what you need help with. As you complete in your own time, just say thank you, because you know your prayer will be answered. Maybe not right now, but sometime in the not too distant future, you will know what to do. And resting together now, inviting the Holy Spirit to be with us all as one, because we are one. I'll call you back with my voice at the end of the meditation. Remember the breath. I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. We're just coming to the end of our meditation. I'd like to keep your eyes closed a moment or two longer. Just a little bit more I'd like to read to you while you're in your meditative space. What we can accomplish together has no limits, because the call for God is the call to the unlimited. Child of God, my message is for you to hear and give away as you answer the Holy Spirit within you. And gently coming back in, take your time. Some nice big deep breaths, maybe a stretch.
Okay, if you'd like to share, raise your hand and I'll invite you to take yourself off mute. Jan, take yourself off mute.
Hi, good morning. I'm just putting it on gallery so I can see Lia. Yeah. Hi, good morning, Lia. Morning, everyone. Oh, so lovely to be here. Thank you so much. It was so beautiful, so perfect. I'm really finding it hard to surrender to that silence, I suppose, at the moment. So it's a beautiful, beautiful reminder for me to do that, and it was so gently done. So thank you. Lovely, lovely to be here.
Thank you, Jan. Thank you. I think cultivating silence in our minds is at once one of the most important things we can do, and equally one of the most difficult. It's not just what we're busy thinking about in ourselves, it's the endless input, isn't that? Everywhere you go, everything's shouting at you, either in noise or in visuals or words and other people. It's one of those, very difficult things to do. But Jesus says, a bit that I read out, it's worthy of your real willingness and great effort. It's about awareness, I think, isn't it? If you listen to something and then you let it go, well, you won't do anything. But if you can take away perhaps that thought, if I can increase my awareness, without awareness, you don't do anything, do you? Because you can't see it. Until people wake up spiritually, they are entirely identified with what they're thinking and feeling. They don't see anything. So here we begin to see and learn to see differently. And we can then say, okay, so now I'm more aware. I can notice when my thoughts are just running me, and I can say, okay, I think I'll stop a moment. You might be out in the shopping mall, it doesn't matter, sit down or stand or look at the sky, take some deep breaths. I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. Just that, I think that we have to understand the power of that is much bigger than the time. So you might spend a minute doing that, but the light that shines from that minute into your being is huge. So it's, don't make it too hard to say, well, I've got to spend 3 hours in silence every day. It's not going to work, is it? Or only for a few people. But if you can just take these little bites of silence, bites of presence, I feel as if the Holy Spirit is saying, yes, wonderful. Okay, quick. Okay, Jan, do this. You get in there, because the silence is your invitation. Now, it's very clear from the Course. The Holy Spirit doesn't just get in there and tell you what to do or say or think. He stays out of it unless you invite him in. And I think it's renewing that invitation. So every moment of consciously going into silence is renewing your invitation to him to guide you. Thank you.
Just to say on that, it's so much easier to do that in nature. But of course, for those of us, and several of us will be living in big cities with lots of busyness going on. I guess that's our classroom, isn't it? But so much easier to slip into it.
I find that if you just have, even if you lived in the top of a block of flats and no balcony, you can still make a little place, can't you, where
Mm.
you sit for your meditation or to read your lessons or whatever. I'm sure many of you do. And on there you can put flowers and plants and crystals and things and be in this little space that's nurturing you. For me, all of that is part of my the happy dream. Thank you. Mm.
Okay, I'd like to come in. I think that was so helpful, Leah. I really appreciate it. So it's wonderful to be reminded of cultivating silence. And I have a practice I've been doing for a long time, which is throughout the day, I just pause and step back, quiet my mind, and breathe in peace and breathe out peace. And I don't hear a voice for God, but I just feel so centered and so I'm in my right mind. And so I try to do it every hour. And it's been a really good practice. And I try to do it wherever I am. I just close my eyes and breathe in peace, breathe out peace. And I was in the post office yesterday, and I was doing it, and this woman came over and said, "Are you asleep? Wake up!" And I said, "Oh, God." I said, "No, it's all right." But it doesn't matter. It's all fun. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
done.
yeah. Oh, that's lovely, Dan. Dan, that's so tuned in with what I was talking about. Because it's the silence in the head that's the hard bit, isn't it?
Yeah,
You know, even if you live in the city, you can actually um, be silent. You can stop talking, but that doesn't mean you're silent in your head, does it? And many people say to me, "Oh, I sit in silence. I've got these endless arguments going on, and I keep trying to push the thoughts away, and they won't go, and they have a horrible time for 20 minutes." I mean, it's better than not doing it, but the next step, of course, is to how can I spend that time actually in silence and not in struggling within my mind to try and be silent. Hmm. Thank you.
thank you. Who'd like to share?
It'd be interesting to hear if anybody has had any recent experience of really hearing in some way the voice for God. Have you heard the voice for God? I mean, a sensation, a feeling, a pull within you, that feeling, a message from nature. Lottie, yes.
Lottie, take yourself off mute.
I've been wondering whether to share this or not. You've given me the invitation now, and this is not to contradict, but to expand what you've been saying. I was having a web chat with a miracle friend, and we were talking about my forthcoming treatment for my back pain. And I wrote to her something that I hadn't even thought. It hadn't gone through my mind, it had just come. And I wrote, the surgery will be successful. The recovery will be swift and sure. And I took that as a message from the Holy Spirit. This was, and I did a screenshot of what I'd written so that I could be reminded of it frequently. And I had the consultant's appointment on Monday, and it was just as if he was reading from the script. It was exactly what Spirit had said to me.
Wow.
And then I started to think, oh, well, he says I'll get surgery within 3 months. That could clash with my booking for a retreat in early April. And ego chatter started to get in there. And so I actually asked Holy Spirit, what do I do about this? And the answer I received, again, without me thinking, was you've set your intention to attend this retreat, so hold on to it. And I don't know how that'll be accomplished. And ego keeps trying to get in there, but I'm silencing the Holy Spirit. Silencing the ego. Sorry for that slip.
That's wonderful. And how blessed you are to hear those words so clearly That's absolutely wonderful. And I think it's very encouraging for all of us because it is much easier, isn't it, to hear the words? You know, if you've got to interpret things within you, what you're sensing or feeling. No, it's harder, but when you hear the words, and there's just a little thing to add to that that I think is very helpful, is that if you're not sure whether what you hear is the voice for God, you just need to sit with it a bit and really feel into your heart center. And in the Course, Jesus talks about the sense of rightness. There is available to us a sense of rightness, right? It's not right wrongness kind of thing, but a sense of rightness. And when you think, if I hear that, or did I just make it up? You know, you just say, okay, Holy Spirit, I think I heard you say this. Am I right? And if you feel into your heart, if you are right, and it really was the voice for God, you will feel solid, steady, calm, joyful, filled with love. You will just feel this warm, rich, warm place within you where you get that sense of rightness. If it wasn't the voice for God, one of the main things you'll get is fear, and you'll get guilt. And it starts going a bit, you start getting a bit anxious, you feel a bit guilty, there's a little edginess going on there, so you know it isn't right. It's not always that clear, but broadly speaking, sometimes you might have to come back to it again. You might have to just shift what you do a little bit. You think you heard something, but maybe it wasn't quite like that. Ask again. I mean, you're clear, Lottie, I'm just talking in general. You just keep going with it until you get to the place where you think, yes, there's no doubt here, there's no fear here, there's no guilt. This is what I'm being told to do. And then you just get on with it and you just go.
Absolutely.
Even if you're not completely certain, in order to find out more about the way you sense this rightness, is to follow things that you think pretty much are the voice of God. You know? And then you'll find out if you've got some of it wrong. Do you see what I mean? If you just wait until you're 100% certain before you do anything, then you might not get there. Sometimes you have to just move with it. And I think that's what I heard. Hold my hand, Jesus. That's what I say. Yeah. If I've got this wrong, show me. I'll check again. Do you see what I mean? It's just being able to follow through with what we're pretty much certain that we've heard, with love and joy and peace in our hearts, and go back for extra encouragement if we need it. So that sounds wonderful, Lottie. So I'm certain it's all going to go well. I can feel that in my heart.
Thank you. I feel very blessed by it.
Thank you.
Who would like to share?
Just thinking about the the breathing that I was talking about. You know, when you just say, "I breathe in, I breathe out." This originates with Buddhism, which has a lot of lovely things to offer us that go well with the Course. And I really encourage people to use that because it's so simple, isn't it? And it's no complicated instructions. You don't have to go back and look up anything. You know, just think, oh, I could just say, I breathe in, I'm breathing in, I'm breathing out. And, you know, it's really interesting to hear if anybody has any, you know, how you get on with that. Or maybe even in the meditation today, did you do that? And how did it feel? Did it feel valuable to you? Anybody got any comments on that? I tell you what you could do. You could just give a little nod if you found it useful. Anybody found that was useful? Yeah, good. Do the body language, yes. Yeah, lovely. I often do it when I go to sleep at night. You know, if I find my head is thinking about stuff, and I just want to go to sleep, I'll just do that. And you can also, in that, you can send love to the different parts of your body with it. So I breathing in, I send love to my knees. Breathing out, I send love to my hands. Or that's a lovely way to do it too. So we're kind of encouraging ourselves to see our body as something, this means of communication. And it's, we're having a bodily experience. And if the body is not relaxed and comfortable, it's going to bother us, isn't it? So really worth taking time to make sure the body is peaceful and relaxed. We just got a tiny bit more time. Is there one person who'd like to ask or share anything? Particularly any experiences with the Holy Spirit.
Evelyn, take yourself off mute.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Lia, and everyone. It's all so helpful, every comment and reminder, because I just need constant reminding. So thank you very much indeed to everybody's comments. And yes, Leah, thank you. I have a lovely, it is a Buddhist, a little section of a beautiful Buddhist monk whom I can't remember, but I've got it in my little file, and that reminds me, get it out, because it's just so simple. It's just like that. I breathe in, and he goes through this beautiful, simple. It's just like a river of peace, just with every breath. So thank you very much indeed. And again, thank you, everyone. Bless you.
Is it Thich Nhat Hanh?
I don't believe it's Thich Nhat Hanh. I can let Teresa, I can let you know. It's so beautiful. I wish I could. I wish I had it. I have so many files for this, that, and the other.
Yes.
And anyway, I'll let someone else come in.
Just a little something to say. We're going to finish any moment now, which is remember how important it is to keep learning the same things. It's not like, well, we go to something where somebody's going to tell me something new today. I mean, mostly nobody's going to say anything new because it's all there. And most of the course is endless repetition in different ways, which is not a criticism. It's thank God for repeating it, putting it different ways, using different words, saying it in different chapters and different headings, because the only hope we're ever going to get it is that we hear it 1,000 times, and even that's not enough. So I probably said things today, but it might just have added a little bit more to the depth of your understanding and vision. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Leah. That was wonderful. It really was. I found it so helpful. Take yourself off mute and show your appreciation to Leah.
Thank you, Leah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Leah. And
Thank you,
lovely.
Thank you, Leah.
Thank you. Kisses.
Try to do
Bye-bye. I love you.
Bye.
Thank you.